are warmly welcome to MBTI Learning Channel. My name is Bernard Ofusu, your entrepreneurial skills training instructor. Our topic is business ideas. This topic was carefully selected because a lot of ideas come to us from time to time. These ideas may include business ideas, which we've not given much attention to. Again, as we can see around us, businesses within our environment will obviously start with an idea. I hope you are going to enjoy this lesson. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to differentiate between an idea and business idea. You will also be able to identify sources of business ideas, state factors to consider when generating business ideas, and finally, the importance of business ideas. Oxford Learning Dictionary defines an idea as a plan, a thought, or a suggestion. A business idea, on the other hand, is a response to an identified problem or meeting a perceived needs of an environment. This means that a good business idea, when implemented, it will be able to solve needs or problems within a market. For example, the emergence of COVID-19 has brought a lot of business ideas. Now, a lot of people are venturing into how to produce face masks, hand sanitizers, and even with the medical experts looking at various means of producing vaccine or to cure the disease. These ideas are business ideas that are coming on board for us to be able to control, protect, and prevent the disease. Besides this, business ideas should also not be an entirely new thing. It could be an improvement upon a product or a service you are already rendering. So you look within your community. What are the needs of the community where you can develop a business idea out of it? Sources of business ideas. There are a lot of other areas that one can get a business idea. Needs and wants of the community. Now, you are living within a community. Can you scan through within your community to find out what are the critical needs within that community? Where you can also come out with a business idea. Because we've already stated that business ideas are to respond to problems or the needs. So to get a business idea, you need to look into your environment and come out with something that is peculiar or which is a challenge within the community. Another area that one can also get his source of business idea has to do with past work experience. What have you been doing all this while that you think you've developed a lot of experiences from? Taking, for instance, you are a seamstress or a fashion designer working for somebody. Are you planning of coming out with your own business where you can also be your own master? Because over the years, you've gathered much experience, much contacts, where you can also come out and develop your own products or services. Another area one can also develop his business idea has to do with hobbies and interests. What are the things that you enjoy doing more or most during your leisure time? Some like watching football, some like singing, some swimming. But have you thought of it that what you consider as a hobby, somebody is considering or somebody is doing it as a profession and getting a lot of money out of it? Taking, for instance, singing. We have a lot of musicians making millions of Ghana cedis. Meanwhile, you sing as a hobby. We have people who enjoy cooking. Meanwhile, somebody is using it as a profession where he is a caterer, making a lot of money out of it. So think of your hobbies and see whether if you can develop a business idea out of it. Customers. Customers of an existing company can help the business or the company to come out with or an improved product or services. Taking, for instance, a caterer who bakes bread or cake. Customers can interact, or the business owner can interact with customers to get ideas of how to improve upon, where the person can even add coconut juice or pineapple juice to the cake. We can also get customers where they can also engage business owners or entrepreneurs as to a particular product. It could be that maybe the taste, the packaging, and so on and so forth. Visiting other markets. This is also another area one can also get his source of business ideas. You've traveled out of your community, you've gone out of the country where you can see certain things in there which you don't have. You come back, you implement same. It's a source of business idea. Interactions in the social media. Now, the discussion everybody is having on the social media has to do with wearing of nose masks. Have you thought of it? Where you're also thinking that you should also develop a product or a business out of it. Probably, maybe you are not a fashion designer or a dressmaker, but you can also venture into such a business where you can take a product and sell. Nowadays, when you watch news on television, a lot of people are leaving their jobs and going into the selling of nose masks. Some are also developing it in large quantities, and so on and so forth. Family business. People get their source of business ideas from family and friends. And I used to say this with quotes: before one grows up, that person has been prepared as to the next business he or she is to take up. It's a source of business idea. Distributors. If you're already into a business, who are your distributors? The retailers, the wholesalers, the suppliers, your agents. They are the ones having a direct contact with the customers. So anything the customer wants, they are the ones that they discuss with. You can also get in touch with them and also get new ways of improving upon your products or services. Competitors. What business are you into now? How do you intend improving upon what you are doing so that you will get a competitive advantage? You are into selling of clothes, or let's say you are operating a fashion design shop. You have competitors around. What difference are you bringing on board so that your product or service will be different from your competitor? So one can also think through and get business ideas. Networking. Who are your network? Do you have their contacts? How are you engaging them so that you can also get business ideas? All these areas are the areas one can consider in a way to get a business idea and also either start with a business or improving upon what you are already doing. Now, we've seen the sources one can look at to get a business ideas. Can we also look at factors to consider if you want to generate a business idea? One, you need to consider your talent or skills. You want to go into a particular business. What skill do you have? What talent do you have in that area? Are you thinking of improving upon it even if you are lacking, so that you can develop that business that you are planning to do? Consider the resources in a given environment. Within your environment, the business that you are thinking, have you considered the resources available so that you can also maximize profit or add value to it. You also need to identify problem and find innovation ways of solving it. Yes, as I said earlier on, you scan through your environment. What is the main challenge that the environment or the community is facing that you think that you can develop a business out of it? This is a critical factor that one needs to consider. Brainstorming, another factor that one can get in a way to develop his business or generate his business idea is brainstorming. I've spoken a lot about this, where you can have a discussion or interactions with your friends, your family members, or your church members to be able to generate a business idea. Find out exactly what the people want. What are the critical things that the people want or the market is in dire need of, so that you can also develop something to respond to that need of the particular market. Importance of generating business ideas. If one is able to generate his or her business idea and he's able to implement it, what are the benefits? What are the importance that the person gets? One, meet or respond to market needs. If you're able to generate a business idea, meaning you are responding to the needs of the market. As I said earlier on, the COVID-19 season, there are a lot of discussions, there are a lot of things that people are doing, especially with those in the medical field or the scientists, to come out with a vaccine. Looking at your profession, maybe you can also develop hand sanitizer, you can also sew nose masks. These things, when you sell them, you are going to get a return. That is what we call profit. Change fashion and requirements. I mean, all of us in this country were wearing of African print wasn't something that we were used to. But because of business ideas where now people are adding color to the African print, now people are going into that area and the fashion industry is seriously improving upon it. Business ideas are also source of employment. If one is able to generate business idea and he or she is able to implement it, this becomes a source of employment for himself and those that he is also going to engage on board. If you are to sew or if you are to get orders, meaning you will need other people to help you. You can also come out with a business idea to spread risks, and in business cycles we call it portfolio. Nowadays, when you look at the media houses that we have, they are venturing into other areas. This is just to add up to their profit margin so that they can spread risks. It's one critical benefit that one gets when he or she is able to generate a business idea. Another importance one gets when is able to generate business ideas is stay ahead of competition. If one is able to generate a business idea where he can improve upon his product or services, he will always be ahead of his competitors. Introduce new products and services and manage their growth. Having a business idea will help you to introduce a new product and even how to manage it. Because after coming out with a product, you will by all means be thinking about ways and means of managing the growth of the business, finding out new ways of satisfying customers. This is also another area that helps entrepreneurs when they're able to scan through their community or their environment. It helps you to find out how you can satisfy your customers, finding out new ways of doing the same things faster, cheaper, and better to bring more profit to the enterprise. Business ideas can also help you to think through or to look at the ways that you can produce or do business at a faster and cheaper rate. Is it about bringing more resources in terms of the human resource or machinery where you can reduce waste? This is also another critical or an importance that one gets if he or she is able to develop his business idea. As I'm bringing my lesson to an end, I would like us to recap what we've learned so far. We learned about the differences between idea and business ideas. We also learned about sources of business ideas, factors to consider when generating business ideas, and also importance of business ideas. Thank you.